I'm doing a couple of things out here that are, I guess, in a sense, unusual. Let me get that stick off. I am up here in this corner of the main west end. I have planted a couple of things that honestly I had never heard of, and I wanted to try them. Clary sage, back here, all the three of those. That's called clary sage, and that is a relative of chia, apparently with the same traits, some of the same traits. It's high on omegas, and it's a biannual. It grows a rosette the first year. You can see the rosette starting to form, and then it shoots up, and it's a showy flower stalk for the second year. I'm also growing flax. This is a seedling flax. It's been in the ground for a while because one of the things that I'm doing is testing for cold tolerance. And this has actually been pretty interesting. Some of these, as you can see, are pretty small. They've been in the ground for a couple of months. They've survived the snow, they've survived the rain, they've survived everything. But if you look over here, you can see one stalk, and I'm gonna, oh, it's already zoomed in as far as it'll go. It's right in front of that milk jug. And you can see, maybe not. It's right in front of that milk jug, and you can see the stem sticking up just in front of and right above the milk jug. That is another flax, and it is approximately 1.5 feet tall at this point. So that's the type of thing that I'm looking for. These are about twice as tall as these. Now I'm going to let these reseed themselves, and next spring we'll have, theoretically, we'll have starts. But I'm doing the clary sage. I'm doing the flax. That's another clary sage down there. I will be doing chia in another area of the yard. This is a seedling, my brain is saying hemlock. That's not the right word. Oh, it's a seedling nut tree. Same as these right here. My brain is apparently still asleep. But then my brain is always asleep. So anyway, so I've got 2 of those. And then I wanted to show you something else. And I could just keep going on and on and on for hours, but I'll cut it off after this. I was concerned, I have had in the past a difficult time growing peppers. They simply don't grow. Last year I started with 30 seedlings. I ended up with 10 that actually got planted out. And by the end of the season, I had 1 that was just barely starting to bloom when the first frost hit. So this year I'm growing them in the greenhouse. I'm transplanting them, making sure, whatever. I'm not making sure that they have the water or the soil or whatever. I'm not doing seed soils and all of that, because if something can't survive in my soil, I don't want it here. But I decided to try an experiment, and a couple of weeks ago I planted out one of our peppers. Now, this is in a protected position. It's got a block wall to one side. This block wall faces southwest, and it's got a chunk of wood, piece of a tree that a neighbor cut down, on the other side. Now the idea is that will these 2 items create a more sheltered habitat so that this will be able to survive? And so far it has. I'm not sure whether it will ultimately, but it has survived 1 light frost. Of course it had the milk jug on top of it, but regardless, it has survived 1 light frost and a lot of heavy cold rain. Gotten a lot of rain this year, so that appears to be, at least at this point, it appears to be working as a survival tactic. So it's possible that I'll do some more heat-hardy plants along this edge and see how well they do. I will talk with you later.